What's up everybody, it's Silverrummer here, and today we're going to be talking about how my minimalistic, sustainable, ethical lifestyle helped me get out of debt. So, disclaimer before I start this video, this is what worked for me, this is what I was able to do, this is what was within my means. It doesn't work for everybody, a lot of people don't have the means to do this, but this is just coming from personal experience and I wanted to share some of the things that really helped me. So first I'm going to go over some of my bad habits because I definitely should not have been in debt. There's no reason for me to be in debt from where I'm living. I still live at home. I've been awarded these amazing opportunities. Like, I do have to pay for my car, but I split it with my sister. I pitch in for groceries, but basically I have no expenses and I'm super lucky to do that. And I think I was just so spoiled and my mindset was so warped that I just was like, why not buy this and that and this and that and accumulate this debt, because who cares? Like, I'm safe, I'm living at home. So that was kind of where my mind was at, and that's I'm so mad at myself for thinking like that because it's such a spoiled and entitled mindset. And when I see other people in my life who behave like that, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Be grateful, like pitch in, like what are you doing? And then I'm like, shit, that's what I'm doing. So that has stopped, and these are some of the things that have helped me get there, but a lot of the reason and motivation I had behind this was guilt. For someone like me, guilt is a very motivating thing, so pick your thing and run with it, but guilt was mine. So the first bad habit we're going to be talking about is participating in the fast fashion industry. I was super guilty of doing this because I wanted lots of clothes. I wanted to be like all the Instagram people and like never wear something twice and just have things and who cares, like chuck them out, donate them, whatever. I literally remember myself throwing clothes in the garbage. We have changed. We have come a long way from that, and I am very big on the 5 R's, the reduce, recycle, reuse, repurpose, refurbish or something. That's my thing now. I upcycle a lot of my clothing. If I can't upcycle them, or I just don't want to, or don't think it's worth the effort, or they don't need to be and I just don't like it anymore, I sell it, I donate it, I give it to people I know. Throwing away clothing is not a thing anymore. I'm working towards more of a capsule wardrobe, but I would say that I still am not 100% there. I think that 95% of my clothing that I've bought in the past year or two has been secondhand, and I'm very proud of that. But I'm gonna walk through this guide that I used to get here because fast fashion is so bad for your environment. It's so bad for your wallet. There's just no real purpose of it. Trends come and go so fast now that I feel like having a capsule wardrobe that fits you for your style, that's all you really need, because if they're good pieces, they should last you a long time, or to the point where you don't like them anymore and they don't suit you anymore and you can pass those on and they'll still be in good quality. So all that being said, let's go over quickly the shopping ethical guide. So next time you go shopping, or next time you think you want to go shopping, think about this. I want something. So what does that mean? Do you really need it or do you want it? If you don't need it, the answer should be no, because you should never be buying things that you don't need. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. If the answer is yes, you need this thing, you then ask yourself, does it need to be new? If the answer is no, which I find majority of the time the answer could be no. For example, I didn't really need this. So I'm super guilty of this as well still, but I needed an espresso frother. Hey Google, how do you say frother?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Oh my god. How do you say frother?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
I needed an espresso frother. I was trying to convert my lifestyle from buying things at cafes to making things at home. So I was trying to make my classic matcha latte at home. But I didn't have anything to like froth my oat milk or anything, and it just wasn't working and it wasn't the same. And then I was like, I'll just go to Starbucks, which is something that I didn't want to do. So for me, this was a need at the time, even though I don't think it was a need. But I use it every day and my mom uses it every day, so it's justified. Anyway, that I didn't really need it to be new at all. So I looked on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, Let Go, Kijiji. Those are the places I looked. I did end up finding one on Facebook Marketplace, brand spanking new. So she's like, it's brand new, still in the plastic wrap, never opened it, $70. I got it for a discount. So after $70, I think originally they were $100 and it was brand new. So that didn't need to be new, but it was still new. So that's always an option. You can also check out like thrift stores are amazing. Well, even at thrift stores. So the thing about thrift stores, places like Value Village and Salvation Army. Value Village was recently purchased by Walmart, which is a large corporation that I don't super want to support if I don't have to. Salvation Army is supported by anti-LGBTQ plus organizations, so I'm not super about them either. So places that I like to thrift are places like churches. So my local church that I used to go to, they take the proceeds and donate to different charities, as well as they use it to support their church. And I love to support their church. I actually really do agree with how they run their church and their values that they follow. And I looked into the different charities that they do donate proceeds to, and I actually really do believe in what those charities are standing for and what they're using the money for. Or even Etsy. Etsy has a lot of good secondhand things. I'm a huge Etsy user. Majority of my stuff is Etsy because I like to support smaller business, and I find that you could find a lot more catered and custom things on there. I actually have an Etsy shop. It's Silver Rumor Gallery. I have a few stuff up on there. Actually, I am uploading this soon if you like line art and kind of like naked ladies. So that's if the answer is no. It does not need to be new. If the answer is yes. So for me, recently I bought new period panties because for me, I would like those to be new, preferably. It's not a necessity, but I'm not there yet. I still would like my period panties to be new and unused. So then the next question, if the answer is yes, it needs to be new, it's period panties. Can you buy it ethically? So this is where you need to do a little bit of your research. So for me, for example, we're going to talk about my period panties again. My period panties, they need it to be new for me. So I have period panties such as LunaPads, which is a local Vancouver brand. I really like what they stand for. I like the materials they use. It's all organic cotton. I'm all about that. That sounds great. It's a Vancouver brand. That's my city. I want to support that. I also purchased them from a store called the Soap Dispensary here in Vancouver. I want to support that shop. I like what they're doing. They're a refill store and I go there all the time. So I would like to support that company. I want to support that store. 2-in-1, all happy. That's something I could purchase ethically. If the answer is no, which I would be surprised if you couldn't find the thing you wanted ethically, but it happens. And I know we all just like get really hooked on things. It's the only thing you want. You can only get it from this one store, and maybe they have child labor, but you know, we can look past that, I guess. That's something you can look past. And if the thing you need can't be purchased ethically, make sure you buy it to last. So what that means is it's good quality. It might be a little bit more expensive, but it's something that you'll use all the time. It's something that'll last you, and it's something that you can pass on. So that's my guide to ethical shopping. I think you'll find when you follow that guide, you end up buying nothing because either nothing you can find is ethical or you don't actually need anything. That really stops me from purchasing things. And I do totally have the shopping bug, like it's in me. I like really like to buy things. Like I get a lot of joy from purchasing things, which I don't know what that says about me psychologically, but I'm going to therapy, so that's fine. Because I'm trying to live a more minimalistic lifestyle, if I don't need it and if I can't use it for like a dual purpose, then I don't need it and I don't buy it. But a lot of the things I buy from thrift stores are things that I can upcycle because I am an artist. So I'll buy like for example, this pot I purchased at a thrift store and I was able to upcycle it and put my art on it, and then I can use it to sell. So I can say that I'm still sticking to my sustainable brand, and people who buy art from me can take comfort in the fact that they're doing something good for the environment, as well as supporting a local artist and a small business, and it can bring them a little bit of happiness. Because like you could use this, I swear to God, I swear this is not like a promo for my art, but this is just my example. But like this you could use to like tuck your keys in or put a little plant in it. Like it's dual purpose and it's decoration, and if you just want to use it to stare at, that's cool too. Like, but I usually try to make sure things are dual purpose. So the next thing I want to talk about in my next bad habit is dollar stores, or it's just $1 or it's just $5. I think we all know this, but we don't really think about it, is that it's still $1. It's still $5, and that adds up. Like I would go to the dollar store all the time because I'm like, it's just $1, who cares? And then I come home with all this mindless crap that I don't actually need, but it was just $1. So I try to think of money as hours of my life. So how much is this object worth my time? For example, this cup was $12. So let's say $12 is like, I don't want to say how much money I make. Let's just say $12 is, for example purposes only, 5 minutes of my life into this cup. So how much is this cup worth 5 minutes of my life? Obviously I have it. The answer is it is definitely worth 5 minutes of my life. It is dual purpose. It brings me so much joy. I love cows and I use it all the time and every day. And I've had this cup for I think 2 years now. I'm happy with my purchase. So the next bad habit I have is, like I said earlier, buying coffees and going for dinner. So a lot of my friends do like to go out and go for dinners and get bubble tea or coffee or something like that. And I feel like there's a lot of pressure when you're sitting with your friend to buy things, or at least I felt pressure. Like if my friend was getting dinner and a drink, a bubble tea, I don't drink, I would get dinner and a bubble tea, and that one wasn't super good for my health. And maybe this is just a me thing, maybe this is just my anxiety brain working, but if I didn't do the same, I was like, they're gonna think I'm poor and I can't afford it. I can't afford it, but should I afford it if I don't want it or need it and I'm just doing it because I feel societal pressure? No! So a lot of my friends that I hang out with are actually really good with their money, and they'll come and sit with us at the table and buy nothing. They'll eat at home first and then come and have like a glass of water, which seriously sucks for restaurant companies, but I was like, wow, you're ballsy and I admire you. So a lot of the times what I started doing is I would eat at home, I'd buy my own groceries, I'd make my own coffees, I would make my own matcha lattes at home. I wouldn't really eat out unless it was like a special occasion. So I did put a limit on how much money I could spend each month on eating out. If I hit that limit, that was it. So a lot of times what I do is I would buy my own groceries, eat at home, and then meet up with my friends after they were done eating and just like walking around or going for a drive, and I'd meet them for that part. Or I would go and I would eat and I would just order a bubble tea or something just to cut down my costs but still be involved and still have like a treat. Like, don't deprive yourself, just do everything in moderation. So this was the stupidest one of my bad habits. I justified having room on my credit card, like as in not hitting my max limit on my credit card, meant that I had enough money, which is not true, and that's how you get yourself in trouble and how you get yourself in debt. So now my rule of thumb is always thinking about things like buying a car. So when you buy a car, you pretty much want to have, well, depending what kind of car it is, you want to have almost double the amount before you buy that car. So let's say you buy a car for like $5,000. You want to have an extra $5,000 for maintenance, insurance, and gas. And you want to think that if I fuck up this car, I have enough money to take care of it. So I know that doesn't apply in a lot of situations, but basically what I'm saying is if you don't have enough money to buy it twice, you probably shouldn't buy it once. Because you never want to be to the point where you hit your limit, you've got your bank account down to zero. Like, and that's kind of how you develop these bad habits. So for me, throughout this whole time, I had an excellent credit card score. So I was always like, it's not that bad. Like, it's fine. I'm just in debt and I'm getting these interest charges, but I still have good credit and no one's coming after me, so it's fine. It's not fine. You are responsible for yourself. The banks want you to be in debt. They want your money. So it's up to you to monitor that yourself and tell yourself when enough is enough. So my last thing, and I think that this is something that a lot of us struggle with, especially if you have a lot of exposure to social media, is that we buy it and we keep it if it sparks joy. So that's the whole like Marie Kondo thing. And to me, I get it and I do appreciate people trying to work towards a more minimalistic lifestyle, but I find that for me, like, this sparks joy. Like, if this was $100, this sparks joy, and I would think about it and I would do the like think about it for a week and then come back. I would come back and buy this for $100 because it sparks joy. If that was my criteria for things, I would have so much more shit in my house that I do not need, and I would spend however much it costs so I could have it. So just because it makes you happy and sparks joy, it doesn't mean that a want becomes a need. It's still a want. So if it really is something that you can't live without, like, don't depress yourself because you can't have these things. If it's something that you really want, why don't you try buying it secondhand first or making it yourself? So I saw these little cute naked ladies that sit on your shelf, and I saw them and they're like $100 each for they're like this big, and I'm like, I will spend the $100. Like, I was was completely fully ready to spend $100 per little gal to put on my shelf. It was totally a want. It's a decoration. It's not a need. But then I thought to myself, I can buy a pound of clay and make this myself. And I have a coupon for Michael's. I can do this and I can use the clay to make more things if it's a want and if it sparks joy and you can't handle not having it. I bet you anything you can get it secondhand first, or make it yourself, or find someone and support an artist or a tradesperson that can do it for you. I would rather invest my money in a person and a small business than a large corporation or company. Following all these tips, it literally took me, I think I was in debt, and I say use that term properly but also kind of loosely, because my debt, especially talking to my friends, I realized it isn't that big. It was never that big. It was never that much. But that's not how I was raised. That's not how I was taught to value money and my time. So for me, it was a huge disappointment and really embarrassing for me, and something that I just was super ashamed of and never wanted to deal with. I think this mindset for me and starting collecting debt started for me like 5 years ago, and it took me literally 5 months to responsibly and slowly pay it off. And I'm not in debt, and I'm just like a normal person, a normal responsible person paying off my credit card bill each month, and that feels so liberating. And I can't tell you how much pressure has been taken off. Like, it feels so much better not to be in debt. So I do have all these other tips that I use to get out of debt, but these are just the ones that I use that are catered towards being sustainable and ethical and minimalistic and blah blah blah, all those fun words. Yeah, so if you ever want me to make a video about that, or just like how I budget myself, maybe we can do that at some point. So let me know if you have anything you want me to talk about or go over, and if you have any questions, and let me know if there's anything you guys do that's more ethical and sustainable that helps you save money. So that's all for me. I hope you enjoyed. Give me a like, subscribe. Check out my art page, Silver Rumor Gallery. And I also have, I started uploading a bunch of my artwork on Society 6, and I'm really excited about it because it's just really cool to see my artwork on like bed sheets and stuff. Like, that's just super cool for me. So check that out. I'll put all my links down below. But I'm kind of starting my own little art business, and it's really fun and just like a little bit of a passion project for me. So if you could support me there, that would be super great if you can afford to. Don't do it just because it sparks joy. So yeah, that's all for me. Take care, and I hope you guys are staying safe, and I'll catch you next time.